Hope everyone's having a great day. Welcome, welcome. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get this party started. Welcome, everyone. Good morning. My name is Alexa, Operations Manager here at the BPM RIA office. Stands for Broward Palm Beach Miami Real Estate Investors Association. I have a fantastic webinar for you guys today. I am just bringing you guys here, but the real magic is going to happen soon. I have a few announcements before we get started with our Solve Your Capital Challenges and Make Better Deals webinar today. So just a couple things. Because you are here in this webinar, somebody will be winning a free membership. I have this awesome raffle for you guys that are in here. I always want to reward people who are taking action and coming to the events. So please go ahead and text the special keyword membership to this number that you see on the screen, 954-800-6961, and I will reach out to a winner after the webinar. So go ahead, if you're interested in winning this raffle today, go ahead and text that special word that you see on the screen. I also popped it in the chat for you guys in case I'm running a little bit quick here. We have a lot to cover today, so I'll be sure to put that in the chat box periodically so that you guys can have a chance to win a membership today. All right, upcoming events. Lots of good things coming this end of the month, as well as next month. But most importantly, we have another webinar this week. Francisco Mago's coming back. And here you go, big star, highlight, circle. Here we go, guys. In-person workshop at the Courtyard Plantation, Fort Lauderdale. Entire address, everything is on the website, on member flow for our members. So go ahead and get to member flow if you are a member. Non-members, I have a link for you. I will put it in the chat box for you so that you can get your tickets for this workshop Saturday, April 29th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It is going to be a full day, guys. So we'll get more into this during the webinar, but just want you to mark your calendars right now if you haven't already for this workshop that we will be hosting in Plantation. Like I said, we have the full address and everything ready for you guys, and I'll give you a special link for that one. And then here we go, monthly meeting coming around the corner. This will be a monthly meeting via Zoom, May 3rd. So looking forward to seeing you guys. We have a new speaker coming in and we're going to get into it. So look forward to seeing you guys then. And then here we are, Unbridled Wealth. It's been some time. We're going to discuss wealth building strategies, free webinar the following week. And we have an amazing webinar that we will be doing a in-person workshop following this webinar. So for those that cannot make it out to the in-person workshop or are interested in coming to that in-person workshop, we are looking forward to seeing you here May 10th for this webinar taught by Anish, 20 ways to invest in real estate. So looking forward to seeing you guys at our upcoming events. I will post the link in the chat so you can go ahead and find those events. And if there's anything missing in there, let me know. I'm constantly adding more events. So you guys just keep paying attention to the website. I'm always adding more. And I'm always here to help if you guys have any questions about these events and how to register. All right, my favorite way to keep up with events is via text. It is so easy. You get a text update the day before or the day of the event with the link to register. If you're interested in getting text updates for our events, it's super easy. Text the word BPM REIA, all one word, no spaces, to our event update line, 954-800-6961. Go ahead and take a picture of the screen, or I popped it in the chat for you all. Amazing. Here we go. Our updated dates for the Quick Start coming up. We are releasing the new dates for the next Quick Start, August 5th, August 6th. We will be getting into wholesaling, flipping, rehabbing, 4 incredible guest speakers. This is a very awesome training. You have 2 full days with Anish, as well as those 4 guest speakers, and then our mentors pop in here and there. So I have a pull up on the screen if you're interested in this Quick Start training. I know a lot of you are asking me, when is the next one? When is the next one? Here it is, August 5th and August 6th, Saturday and Sunday, 2 full days with us. We're going to get into all the things and special strategies we teach in our mentoring and coaching program. So I definitely look forward to seeing you guys there and marking your calendars ahead of time. So thank you guys for responding to the poll. I really, really appreciate it. Awesome. Alrighty, members, you get all the good stuff, you get all the goodies, you get the membership package with National RIA, all of the discounts, Home Depot, Avis Budget, Rent Perfect, MSI Insurance, all equity trust, all those awesome things. You get a whole discount package from National RIA. In-person meetings for networking are free for you. Your guests come in at a discount. And then you, of course, have member pricing on all of our special workshops and any special trainings that we have throughout the year. So if you're interested in getting your membership, go straight to the website. Link is in the chat. And thank you guys for responding to this poll. It really does help me when I need to focus on specific things for you guys. And I did just host a membership webinar last month, I believe. So I'm happy that I was able to fill in some gaps for you guys there. Amazing. Alrighty, mentoring and coaching here at BPM RIA. We actually do offer truly one-on-one coaching programs at BPM RIA. You are matched with a mentor. We do put up 100% of the money for our students' deals, and we split the profit 50-50. A lot of you may have questions about this. So we have actually linked a calendar booking link to our website, so you can go ahead and book a call with me right now. You can go ahead and book a discovery call right on bpmreia.com. I went and put the link in the chat for you guys, so we can go ahead and discuss your questions, and I can also get you the brochure in your hands so that you can review that, review the two programs that we offer, and I will be more than happy to schedule this 1 hour free consultation with you and a mentor so that you guys can get into the nitty-gritty and see if our program is a good fit for you. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. I want to always thank the National RIA for backing us and everything we do, but I really want to thank you guys for being in this webinar today. We will be getting into it with Sharif, but a couple housekeeping rules. If you could please put your questions in the Q&A box in the Zoom menu below. We don't want to miss any of your questions, so please put those in the Q&A box. I will be putting some helpful links in the chat for you guys throughout the webinar, but I really want to make sure we answer all your questions today. It's not every day that you have this one-on-one time with Sharif. He's a big deal. He's one of Anish's favorite people on this planet. He's been looking up to Sharif and learning from Sharif for a long time. There's a lot to learn from him today. So I don't know if you need to make sure you have a notebook or whatever you take notes with, get something to write down or to make some notes on your computer, because we're going to get into a lot of information, a lot of really good information. So without further ado, I want to also introduce Ashley here. A lot of you met Ashley at the April 5th in-person networking meeting. That is Sharif's right-hand woman. So she's going to be here making sure that we answer all the questions that you guys have and get you ready to go for April 29th. Just mark your calendar right now because I know you're going to want to go. It is a limited seating event, so it will fill up, and we'll get more into that when we do in the webinar. So without further ado, I would love to introduce you guys, Sharif. I'm just really excited. I know he has a lot to share with you guys today. So
thank you.
Of course.
Great. Thank you so much for the introduction, Alexa. And I'm Sharif Merawar. I am going to be sharing with you here many opportunities to become none other than a fund manager to grow your business, and got some PowerPoints here. Can you see them on the screen? Yes? Good. So my company is called Sharif Merawar Real Estate Investing, or CMREI. We talk about syndications, which is when you actually raise capital for just one asset. Let's say you raise money for a fourplex or a small apartment building or a huge apartment building. And a real estate fund is when you set up an entity, if you will, and have in it many different type of assets. Like maybe you want to put an apartment building, you want to buy and sell properties, you want to do wholesaling. All this could be done in a fund. It's like a mutual fund, if you will. And also, I know some people like to do joint venture partnerships, and I will explain today, instead of just doing a joint venture as an individual with another individual, you will learn how to do it from a fund with other funds, and you open yourself to another bigger world of opportunities, because you can do so much by yourself, but you have so much time, so much energy, so much knowledge, and so much money and credit. But when you create a fund, it takes your business to another level completely. I started as an investor. I worked for a billionaire for many years when I was in my 20s, and I got to learn so much. When I left, I started doing my own deals, made a lot of money in early age, and started educating people. I wanted to share the knowledge. I even wrote a couple books. One was co-authored with Steve Forbes, actually, and called Successonomics. And one you can even see on Amazon called Blue Ocean Opportunities in Commercial Real Estate. I think the Blue Ocean is for sale at $1.99, became a bestseller. I was wondering if it became a bestseller because the price was so low or because the content was so good. But the thing is, they wouldn't let me sell it for less. I'm not trying to make money from books and tapes. I'm trying to make money by doing joint ventures with people. It helped my company grow. And when I joined Anish and Alexa, it just opens up a bigger world, because networking is very important. But most importantly, I'm a real estate fund manager. So I raise capital, I deploy the capital. And really, when you think, okay, so what does this guy do? What do they do, these guys? Well, we train individuals. The education company has been up and running for 25 years now. Started in 98, if you will. January 6, 1998, as a matter of fact, was my first event that I gathered people together for money and trained them. The results were great, so I continued from then. So we train individuals to raise capital and invest it wisely and profitably. And we set up for these people turnkey real estate funds, because I used to train the people and say, go set up the fund. They go talk to an attorney, pay $30,000. And the attorney would say, well, wait a minute. What do you want to set up? How much do you want to pay out? What type of assets? And they would get confused and get scared and then come back to me. So now we do it all. We train you, and then we set you up with a real estate fund, which takes you to another level. And if you've already done 1 or 2 deals in the past, you know the power of having a lot of money available for you to be able to pull on and do bigger deals if you already know what you're doing. So you can grow bigger, you can do better, and the game becomes a lot faster. So how does it benefit you? This is a proven system and a shortcut for investors to achieve top results fast. Now, I talk a lot about speed because speed gives you a lot of power. Force by definition is mass time velocity, right? You studied physics. So once you have a fund and you have speed in transactions because you have a lot of cash, a lot of available credit, you're able to do a lot more. How can you get involved? We have a training on Saturday, April 29. It's a live event. I don't do many live events. I am usually busy doing my own investing and every now and then do calls or something. But I will be there. I will do the training myself, live event, to teach you how to raise money and invest in the best deals with highest returns, because I'll also cover how we choose certain deals, how we choose commercial deals, what we do with residential, how to group the money together, and how to do it while you actually are relaxed and you can sleep at night, because you don't want to add stress or additional liability to yourself. There are ways to do things right, because the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, allows you to have exemptions and to do it. And I'm going to try to cover as much as possible in this short webinar, if you will, on how to become a fund manager. The first question is, why should you become a fund manager? People ask me, why should I become a fund manager? What is that all about? So you can make a lot of money. You can achieve a lot more. You can set up equity funds whereby you can raise the money. And when you raise money, you actually get 3% on the deal you're bringing in. You bring a $5 million deal, a $10 million deal. And I know some of you are thinking, well, isn't that a lot of money, Sharif? Well, not when you're actually a real estate fund and you are able to raise the money, because the lender will give you money and then investors will give you money. Maybe you can put some of your own money, but the key thing, you can charge an acquisition fee. On a $10 million, for example, acquisition of 3%, You make 300,000 just getting the deal together. That's kind of standard in the business, plus or minus. Sometimes bigger deals, you charge a little bit less. Why? Because you found the deal, you analyzed the numbers, you did the contract, you got the due diligence going, and you closed the deal. So that you charge 3%. Once the deal closes, let's say the property makes, I don't know, let's say 100,000 a month, you will be making 20,000. You make about 20%. That's from the cash flow that it's making, and 80% goes to the investors. And then when you sell the property, 5 years later, you get from the upside 30%, the investors get 70%. So investors love the fact that you got the deal for them. They're investing with you. They don't have to deal with the lender. They don't have to deal with the management. They don't have to deal with the exit negotiation. You're doing it all. You're getting paid very good money, 3% to acquire it. On a property like this, that's a lot of money. And on the exit, 30% of the upside for yourself. A lot of money. You also basically charge what's called organization fees. Usually it would cost you, I don't know, $25,000 to $30,000 to set up a real estate fund. Even when we set up people with turnkey operations, $25,000, set them up with the training, how to raise the capital, how to actually structure the fund, how the whole thing, including the attorney's fees and the filings and everything. So you can charge that to the investors when you set up a fund. And you can even charge, you can buy it, or you already own some properties, you want to assign them to the fund, you can charge an assignment fee, you can charge a master lease fee if you're going to do retail, like strip malls, etc. So just a lot of money to be made legally, blessed by the SEC, so long as you know what you're doing and you're choosing the right assets. So people also ask me, what special qualifications or licenses do I need? Do I have to have a certain net worth for this? Well, believe it or not, these fall under the SEC exemption rule. The SEC is the government organization that kind of controls and supervises the activities of you raising capital and deploying it. And you don't need a license. You don't need to be wealthy with a specific net worth. You don't need to have experience in all areas of real estate. You don't have to even already have a property. You can set up a fund and start raising the capital, and you don't even have to have a lot of credit. I've known people who were bankrupt 7, 8 years ago, but they turned their life around. They actually got going, and we set them up with a fund, and we have to disclose if the bankruptcy within less than 10 years, we have to disclose everything, but you'll be amazed. You have the right asset and the good connections and know how to present and raise capital. Your road to wealth is cut in half, maybe even by 75%, because there is nothing like being able to tap into these big deals that are actually in the market. And these deals are on the market and in the market all over the place at all times. The idea is, as you elevate your game, you get better deals because there is less competition on these. So what do you need really? You need 3 things. You need the knowledge. This is what I'll teach in the class. On Saturday, the 29th, I'll give you the knowledge of the SEC rules. And that's very vital and important. You have the knowledge, you have the power to take action. So number 2, you have to take action to get the right deals. Because if you have the knowledge of how to structure everything, you can use us. As I told you, 25,000, we do it all turnkey with the training of how to raise the capital and some guidance to get you there. And then when you take action, you got to get the right deals. What if you don't have the right deals and you raise the money? You can partner with others. What if you have the deals but don't have all the money raised? You're a fund, you can do joint venture with another fund, and that's how we make it happen. So the third thing, obviously, is to network. Networking is very important with other investors, other fund managers, sellers, brokers, etc. These are the keys. This is what you need. So people ask, how do I know which deals I can acquire from my real estate fund? Well, obviously, the real estate fund has to acquire deals that have enough cash flow or enough upside, because you can do a lot of different deals. So there are formulas. I'm going to teach you that. And there are numbers you look at. There are 12 different types of commercial properties you can get into. There are apartment buildings, single tenant retail. You can do office buildings, medical buildings, manufactured homes, storage facilities, parking garages, extremely profitable, gas stations, senior housing, assisted living, hotels and motels. I think that you can make unbelievable deals in hotels and motels in many parts of the country including California, by the way. Some people tell me, oh, it's so hard to get in California for this type of asset. You can find smaller markets that really cash flow very nice. And when you buy a hotel, etc., you have the team already there. Land development, we're doing even land development in my own funds right now in Florida, in Northport. Why? It's a fund, so I can put land developments. We have a small apartment building. We have mixed use retail. I have a lot of different assets in one fund. So when people invest, they're happy to know that their money is not in just one property. Their money is in all these assets. It mitigates the risk. It provides better cash flow for them and better upside if you're offering upside. And I like the mixed use projects. Now flex properties are incredibly great. And you can also do green buildings. You can do the eco-friendly stuff. But let's talk about residential a little bit and other types of assets, which are phenomenal to have in your real estate fund. You can do wholesaling and assigning. I know many of you do that. Buying, fixing, and selling. I love doing that. Buying, fixing, and selling. It's huge. If you're doing wholesaling and you keep assigning these deals, how about you raise the capital and the incredibly good deals that you see that, hey, you can rehab this one and sell it for more or hold it for rental. Now that you'll have the money, you can hold that. And we'll talk more about that in the live training on the 29th. But the key thing is buying, fixing, and selling, buying, fixing, and renting, building and renting. You know, the build to rent, you can do small apartment buildings like this or large ones, buying, building, and selling. I like rehabbing luxury homes and selling them for top dollars. I do that in San Francisco. I've done it for over a decade in my fund, MIXIF, Medawar International Group Secured Income Fund. We've done very well. And with these are properties are 4 or 5 million, then you add square footage and you increase them, improve them, and you sell them. You can do it in Miami, you can do it in Seattle, many markets around the country. Buying and selling notes. You know, this is a big business. As the market changes, a lot of lenders want to sell the notes and you can buy them at a discount. I'll even give you the formula of how to calculate time, money, value. I remember I went to a training for real estate brokers many years ago and they spent the whole weekends. I'll show you in literally 20 minutes how to do the calculation. Here are the 5 key things you look at. Here is when the note pays so much. Here is how you do the discount. And you will know it. You'll know it once. You'll know it forever. You'll be a master at this in the shortest period of time. The training used to be 3 days. I give you the 20% of the 20%. That's how we do the training, very intensive, and get it done. And you can create your own notes. What if you bought a property, fix it, and you want to sell it? You can carry the note. This way you don't pay taxes right away because it's called unrealized gains. I'll explain that. I'll explain the impact of something like this on the cash flow for the fund. It will elevate your game totally to another level. You can even do hard money loans through your fund and be in total control. Do joint venture partnerships, which is one of the best things you could do as a fund manager, fund owner. You can even do tax lien investing, you know, in places like Florida, there's 18% you can get on these. It's not steady cash flow, but you can actually, again, mix as part of the assets that you have. We've done auctions in California with these, with my funds are set up in California, but we do deals in Florida, California, Puerto Rico, etc. And you can structure fund of funds. So you can actually invest. Like some people tell me, I'm raising money, I don't know, if I set up with you, what difference should I go to an attorney or with you? An attorney will just give you the paperwork. We will do it with you, with our in-house attorneys. We'll structure it for you all in one package. And as you raise capital in small increments, you can park them in my fund. So you can actually raise, let's say, up to $1 million. Then you can call out the money and do it because we'll pay you and the investors. So there are ways for us to structure it for you to succeed. And what's in it for us is I also grow with you. You find good deals, I can do joint ventures, and the game gets bigger. So what are the keys to succeeding in this business, if you will, of real estate funds and real estate business? You got to find the deals. And usually those are either priced lower than market or they have potential to go higher value. These we call the opportunities. You got to have the structure. What if you know a few people? What if you meet some people or you need money? How are you going to pitch them? How are you going to present to them? So you got to have the structure. You got to have the real estate fund. Some people limit themselves. Like I know some people listening to me right now and they're saying, oh, that's a bigger game for me. I don't know, that's higher than my pay grade. I mean, it's amazing how people put limitations on themselves. This happens at any level. And you just have to understand, give yourself a chance to come in and listen to what real estate funds do and how they're structured. And if you don't see how much easier your game will get, then you be the judge, but with more knowledge regarding the action and the networking you will need to take. So having the fund, the structure is very important. That's how you get the money. You're more credible for the lenders, you have better credit, you then reposition yourself, and it's always harder the first time you do something, but then it gets easier when you got the right deals, the right structure, the right money, and then you can put it all together and make the profits that you want. I'll give you an example. For example, I bought this property, so 12 units upstairs, residential, and downstairs right here is commercial space. And what happened is I bought it from a retired jeweler. He owned the building. He had some of his staff members upstairs, and he had his business downstairs, and he had many locations. So he emptied that location and put for lease. When I called the owner, I said, would you rather sell? And he said, well, give me an offer because I'm selling some assets and I don't mind selling this and I'm retiring. We made the deal, got the property at 2.5 million, remodeled all the units. I mean, it wasn't much remodeling, but I just changed the tenants because the tenants were leaving because they were mostly staff of his. And we put them all as Airbnb. The property went from making barely a couple $100,000 a year to making over $700,000 a year. The value of the property went up through the roof. We refinanced and cashed out millions of dollars. That's what I call infinite rates of returns on endless streams of income. You can keep holding this asset forever. You can actually sell it later and roll your money in a 1031 exchange and do more deals. Just many ways to structure these and make it happen. In the class, I'll give you the Excel sheets we use, the software, if you will, to make it easier for you to plug in the numbers, and you cannot forget what you need to, okay, what's happening with the electricity, the taxes, this. Also, I invest in single tenant retail. These are very, very profitable. For example, we took this blue building right here and put it under contract. I had Sunglass Hut ready to come in, brought in Sunglass Hut. Sunglass Hut has been with me now 16 years. They haven't left, and they're renewing. And it's just really good to know, renewing every time it goes up, every time it goes up. It was 10 years, then we renewed, and it was COVID time. So I said, listen, since it's COVID, if you have any doubt, let's just renew for 3 years. And it was kind of a trick because I knew after always any disaster, the market picks up. And what happens in actually just a few months ago, even though despite the challenges in the market, they said, listen, we're doing very well because this is in Old San Juan, Puerto Rico. This is Cristo Street. If you know, Old San Juan is part of the United States, Puerto Rico is part, it's a US territory. And right down the street, to the right, if you will, you have the cruise ships arriving. So there's a lot of traffic. They love it. They don't have to spend money in marketing. I'll show you these ways to do it. I'll even show you if you find a single tenant building vacant, how to actually talk to tenants. We have lists of tenants and you can get a tenant to go in. I love these buildings because the tenants take them as is where is. Sometimes they have to pay a little money for tenant improvement. Imagine you put this in a real estate fund, elevates your game to another level completely. They're hassle-free. The tenants pay you net of tax, insurance, maintenance. You have long-term leases. You put the property once and the cash flow keeps coming. I mean, Warren Buffett buys these incredible companies like Coca-Cola for the dividend that it brings. But the dividends of these big Wall Street companies are pennies, are very small. And he does it all cash. We do it here with a little leverage and the cash flow return is a lot higher. Why has he succeeded? Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway pays no dividend, pays zero cash flow. I will show you how to set up a debt fund, not an equity fund, debt fund and pay investors 6 and 8% and all the upside is yours. The investors are happy because many investors say, listen, I don't want to take any risk of up, down or sideways. I want a steady return. Will you pay me the 6 and 8% based on how much I invest? And we charge even no acquisition fee, no management fee, no disposition fee. I'll show you how to set up something very similar to what I do. And that's how I was able to grow over 100 million in assets and sleep well at night because we got assets like this that are safer. We get the corporate guarantee from these big tenants. Like Sunglass Hut has a corporate guarantee of over $1 billion. They're publicly traded. They're part of Luxottica Retail. 500 million people around the planet wear their glasses. It's unbelievable. So you got to learn how to do that and get properties that have liquidity and learn how to work with the reserves. So Once you have your own fund, you can do the following. You can find deals because you're going to be able to attract better deals because you are a fund manager. You have the proof of funds, you have the cash, you have the banks working with you, and you're going to be able to actually talk to investors. And as you grow with them organically, you grow with more money from those investors. They refer more investors to you, learn how to present, and your deals and your history start speaking for itself. So you can find the deals and get the capital either from investors or by doing partnerships with other funds. You can raise the capital to invest in the actual deals or to invest in other funds that have deals that you like. You can partner up, I told you with me, I mean, when we set you up, you can do these things with me because I'm already up and running for many years. We set up the first fund was in 2009. We've been up and running for 14 years on that. And the other one, 2015. There are different regulations. I'll explain all that in the class. I'll simplify it for you. When you leave that class, at the end of the day, you will know better than people who have been in the business raising capital themselves because they went to an attorney who just told them, do this, do that, and I can't tell you about the rest. You're on your own. We'll show you the whole thing from A to Z. But you can partner up by raising small amounts of money because people tell me, I'm raising 50K, 250K here. What should I do? I want to pay them. You can do it through my fund. We do joint venture for these, and you actually can pay the investors money. As you raise enough money, you can actually just branch out with your proof of funds that you raise so much and go get your own deals directly from banks, from auctions, etc. There are so many ways to grow incrementally and then exponentially. So the top business model I'm talking to you about is how to become a real estate fund manager, raise the capital, and grow and contribute to others, because it's a game where you create a bigger pie. And how to invest in a better way in commercial and residential real estate. You want that safe, reliable system and a shortcut to creating a wealth and the freedom you want. And you'll be able to afford the right management team if you get apartment buildings. You'll be able to afford the contractors and the construction team. So what do I teach you and why do I qualify to teach you this? Here is a patent that I had applied for in 2003. You can see here, inventor Sherif Medawar, United States Patent Trade Office. The class, this was a system that I created because when I was teaching people, they kept telling me, oh, how do I start? What do I do first? What do I do next? Can you give me like, so I created a system called the FACTS system. Here it is. How to find the right properties in the right markets and how to find the tenants, because in commercial you need the tenants, or how to find the team if you're rehabbing, how to find the investors. Then how to actually analyze the numbers of the property and the actual market numbers, because a property has intrinsic value and the market, the extrinsic value that you need to study. And then how do you control the deal? What do you negotiate? How do you negotiate it? And what paperwork do you do? How do you time the process of the due diligence, raising the capital and putting the deal together? If you're a fund, the raising of capital is dynamic. It's not just for one deal or whatever. I'll show you. It's so much less stressful, so much better. And how to structure it and strategizing how to structure this whole thing in a way that you don't have to worry about giving them equities and managing so many moving parts. We'll do the debt fund that I will recommend for you, how to structure the payouts. What do the terms mean? What's a pref? What's an equity position versus the debt position? What's a promissory note? What's a subscription agreement? What's a PPM? And I'll explain to you, once you learn the terminology and learn the business model and the concepts itself of what we do, you will be able to apply and succeed. And you're not going to be alone in that world. There are ways for you to continue growing into that level. And when you strategize, is to get the best management team with you that the property will be able to afford you, and take a property to its highest and best use. So you find, analyze, control, time the process, and strategize. We'll teach you that. So to recap again, what do? We raise capital, teach you how to raise capital, how to invest the capital. And we can set you up with turnkey real estate funds. You will benefit by learning the shortcut to getting it done at the lowest possible price and the fastest possible results. So how do you get involved? Come in on Saturday, April 29th. You can enroll now, enroll today, and become a fund manager. The full day training is on April 29th. And usually these trainings are $2,995. We will also give you already a training that we have filmed in the past for 897 value, 15 hours. This was a little bit older, but I'll give you the latest updates and everything in the live training coming up. So you will have that to get you ready, and you'll have your own knowledge of it. The 1-year access to the university. I have the private placement memorandum, legal samples of the deal points we've done in the past, sales contracts, joint venture agreements, a checklist and resources to automate your business. Even I have a checklist for due diligence by type of property, so you'll get the idea of how it's done. We'll also record the training, so you will have a copy of that recording, and you'll have 1-year access to a commercial real estate roundtable. You know the 12 commercial real estate properties I mentioned to you? So we have done a training for each type of property, how to find the best deals that are for sale by owners and creative financing, how to analyze the numbers, how to time the process, everything by type of property. People tell me, well, I want to do storage facilities and I don't know how to do due diligence. We have that training. It's all in there. I'm going to give you a whole year access. You will know this. That was a $2,000 training. We're going to throw it in for you. 7,382 value. All the properties I was telling you, all the ways to do actually residential, and all this, we're going to do it for $695. This is an incredible, this is the lowest price I've ever done actually, and $6,000 saving. And you be the judge. Actually, we have over 2,000 video success stories. I've been in the business, I told you, 20 some years teaching, 14 years with the fund world. I've done very well. I just love to teach. I love to grow the business. I love to grow the game. I love to meet people that are aspiring to grow in the business. I was lucky enough to meet a billionaire who made my life a lot easier, and I try to pass it along. Some people pass it along by giving money to charities, by volunteering. I prefer to pass on knowledge and create structure, and I price them in a way that at least I break even. I don't have to make money from this, but I make money doing deals with you if you want to use me in the future, if you want to work things out with us. And I know you're doing your own trainings, you have some knowledge in the business. This will take you to another level. But again, you have to come and see for yourself so you can decide. You will have the full day training on the 29th from 9 a.m. So please show up at 8:30. I'll be in the room at 8:30, start mingling and talking and answering questions as you register. And I finish at 4:30 so people can have another half an hour to an hour asking questions. So we leave the room at 5:30 or so. So give yourself the full day. We're probably gonna do a working lunch as well, because I try to limit the attendance. We do have some people coming from other parts of the country because we mentioned to them we're gonna have the training, and I haven't done live training for a while. I'm senior in this. It's not like something I just learned 10 years ago and I'm trying to share it. I've been doing this for a long, long time at many levels. So come in, get the website access right away as soon as you enroll, the training videos, the resources. Bring your laptop so you can take notes, Google some stuff as I talk to you, and we'll do case studies. If you're not a member of the RIA, it will be $795, not $695. And if you have somebody with you, it will be $395. So again, you get the full day training. You get access to the university information for the commercial real estate roundtable of my company. You get some legal samples, you get checklists, you get training, you get the video of the training, and learn exactly how we do this, how to syndicate, like set up your own, just one asset to raise money for it, or how to set up a fund where you can raise money for multiple assets for a long time, and how to work with the SEC, the compliance, how to do it all ethically and profitably to last a long, long term. And maybe you can pass on a fund to your loved one. I've seen people that learn, they get their kids involved, and now they become branded as capital raisers and what they do, and they grow the game. And then you have something very, very valuable to pass on. And how to do partnerships the right way, how to actually solicit investors the legal way. And during the training, by the way, I want you to know, we're going to talk about how to set up your own business plan. I'll show you exactly how to set up the business plan with what I call the 5 Ps and how to pitch. So if you have an associate, the guest pass is $395. That's a spouse, a partner, a business associate. You want to bring them with you. You're $695, them $395. You're a non-member, $795. So now you know it's going to be at the Courtyard Marriott. Please don't show up that day and say, okay, I don't know why I waited to the last minute. I have very limited seating when it comes to this. I need to know how many people. So if, I need to know in advance. You need to register right away so we can send you all the stuff. You start looking at these things before coming to the class. After the 1 day live training, you'll be able to understand how real estate funds and syndications work. That's the most important thing. You need to know this. You need to know it, whether you're going to set up a real estate fund or not. Even if you're going to invest in a fund. I did a live presentation and this person came to me and they said, the more you talked about this, the more I said, I don't need to do all this. I got the money. I'm just going to give it to you. I said to them, come in, husband and wife, come in, get the training. So even if you want to invest in my fund or in somebody else's fund, you know what to look for because you'll understand how the fund world works. Number two, how to set up your own fund and what structure would be best for you. I can tell you the difference between equity and debt fund, but when I will show you, you will see the difference. You as a fund manager, why it's better for your investors to have a debt fund, why it's better for you when you don't have to charge the acquisition fee, management fee, disposition fee, and make a lot of money. And they're so happy because they get their money right away and it's pure profit for them with less hassles. Actually, with no hassles. You'll learn how to draft a business plan for your own fund. I will show you how in that training. I'll give you the shortcut. I've seen people do it like in a whole weekend, how to do a business plan. Are you kidding me? You can do that right away. You can do it because there's a formula for everything. How to gain credibility and attract investors to raise capital. Those are going to set up a fund and are afraid of, I don't have the credibility. I'll show you exactly how to have the credibility, how to grow and contribute to reach your potential, how to get the tougher banks to give you flexible terms. Today, in today's market and the next 18 months is going to be critical time to get some of the best deals in the market, raise some of the best money, because a lot of people see opportunities now, but they don't have enough critical mass of money to make the deals happen. So they need to be teamed up. You need to pool that money together, follow the SEC rules, and learn how to raise capital. Number 7, raise capital incrementally till you reach the critical amount. I told you can work with me on that. How to do the creative joint venture deals. Creativity in this business is amazing. It can take deals to another level completely. How to get off-market deals from seasoned brokers. It's a completely different level when you call a broker and you say, I'm a real estate fund. My fund is called whatever, SFI fund or whatever it's called. And I'm looking for this type of asset. And you see the broker now getting excited and saying, okay, I'm going to have this property coming and this is whatever. They send you the numbers. Now you have something you can start raising money on. It's amazing how to work with other syndicators and fund managers. You're going to have 10 of the most powerful things you can do for your own life, your own career. Those who want to do this, I explained the value. I explained all what you got, $695. And those who want to do it, please understand this is a very special price for this time. So do not expect to see this in the future. I am going to be there in person, Fort Lauderdale. I am in California today. I'll be in Fort Lauderdale in just a couple of weeks so we can do the training. And then from there, I'm going to Puerto Rico because I have a couple of people that set up their own real estate fund with us. I have to do a full day, 1 day live training with me. I show them exactly how to raise the capital one-on-one, what to say that is legal, that is powerful, that is proper marketing and proper disclosures. These guys are 2 people that set up the fund together. And they were one was doing Airbnb, the other was doing retail. And now they're teaming up together and setting up a fund. They're going to put so many assets in it. One guy was an engineer and the other guy just was doing some Airbnbs and just taking that game to another level. We haven't even filed the fund yet, which is going to be filed at the end of the month. And they already have investors chomping at the bit to invest with them. You will see how to actually take your game to another level. I get too excited about this, but now you know what it's all about. And if there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them. So I don't know, Ashley, will you be reading the questions?
Yes. All right. We have a question coming in from Alan. He said, I have invested in apartment syndications in the last 2 years. I now have a partner with a contract on 100 acres in a recreational area in Ohio. Log cabin rentals and second homes are common. I want to develop the property by 1, increasing the value by adding roads, bridges, and then phase 2, 20 to 30 HOA cabins, some to be sold and others to be kept for rental income. It says he needs to raise $2.5 million to purchase and 2.1 for the cabins. What type of fund would be best in your opinion?
Okay, so this type of fund, you can actually, I always prefer, this could be done as a syndication. So syndication would be like one-off deal. You raise money just for that. But a fund is always better. So this type of fund will be set up in a way that you tell the investors, here is the plan, here are the people involved, here is the project that we have, here is the positioning, here's why it's going to be so great. And then this is the performance, this is what we're going to do with the money. And then these are the profits we're going to pay off. And in my opinion, you're always better off setting up a debt fund. Why? Because you're going to tell the people, we're not going to pay you anything for, let's say, year one, because that's when we're entitling the land, getting the land and doing this. And then on year two, as we finish the development, as soon as it's done, we're going to refinance, cash out so much, pay you all your money back, plus, let's say, 10% for year one and year two. So they're going to get 20%. Well, the value is going to be increased tremendously when you have a finished product. And then here's the best part. After you pay the investors off, a lot of investors like to invest self-directed IRA money. They don't need the cash flow. They just need the big payouts at the end because it's all tax deferred, etc. And a lot of money goes into private funds for these. And what happens at the end, after you refinance and cash out, you can then start selling individual properties, like you said, within that big development. And as you sell the individual properties, you pay off the loans that you got. And the rest will be free and clear, that are all yours because of that fund. And now you and your friend, if you have somebody, you can become enormously wealthy by helping other people invest their money, by helping the community develop something like this, and helping the city get taxes and all this from the short-term rentals that you will have. Now, once you have that other part free and clear, you can get credit lines and use the credit line to go acquire other properties. That's the beauty of a debt fund. And it will be one asset that cash flows with no debt, just a credit line, and you can do other deals. And those who got in with you and got paid at the end 18 months or 24 months later, got paid plus the interest, they're going to tell you, okay, we're ready to go in for another deal. We love that stuff. So this is a great deal. And by the way, you can structure a few things creatively, like on the land purchase and all this. We'll talk about that in the class, how you can do certain things with some creative financing. Good stuff. I love it.
All right. Anybody else have questions? You guys are quiet.
Okay, very well. So those who are interested in this, I would like to see you on the 29th. And Alexa, what do we do next? Do I
Sharif has one follow-up. Alan, who you just answered, said, what about the increase in basis for depreciation?
Oh yeah, you can do a lot of depreciation on this. You can do accelerated depreciation, etc. But remember, if your goal is to hold it, based on the cash flow, you can work out the depreciation. Some people get so anxious about doing accelerated depreciation. Accelerated depreciation works out well. Usually, if somebody's going to sell the asset within 4 to 5 years, then they're going to do 1031 exchange, whereby you're going to defer the gain to go get another property. In this one, you really don't need to sell the asset. You just need to sell some parts of it, but keep the land and keep the actual other properties, because you're going to have such an enormous way to scale this. Sell some, pay off the debt, and keep the rest free and clear with a credit line. And then get your depreciation and get your cash flow and get your credit lines to continue growing.
Another question coming in, Bruce Reeve, who, by the way, is one of your investors in MIGSIF. Hello, Bruce. He said, at this event, will you be speaking about MIGSIF and the actual real estate investment, its performance, and the expectations on time?
Yes, absolutely. And I'll explain how for 14 years, despite the market drop in 2009, 10, 11, how I survived that in my own fund, and then how I actually handled some other stock market crashes when people just were rattled about it, and how my funds work. So yes, I will fully disclose, because I'll use my funds as the business model. I walk the talk and I teach what I do. And I tell you, not here is the truth and here are the facts and the figures. Here is my truth also and my experience. And if you want to know me more, if you enroll and want to get to know me more, you can actually go on YouTube and watch a couple of the videos and a couple of what other things and success stories, what other people who have attended events or set up funds have said about this. Yes.
Very good. Next question, how do you attract investors as a newbie fund manager?
Well, I'll give you two ways. One, when you have the right deals and the right structure. So you say, I'm a real estate fund manager, I'm filed with the SEC. People can actually go to sec.gov and they will see on the government website that you have been filed. And if you're filed with us, I set you up for a $100 million fund that you will be able to raise up to $100 million. Now, that gives you instant credibility because you went to the highest level of authority in the United States to get that fund filed and set up through attorneys, and is filed in the states, like different states where you raise the capital. Number two, the deal itself gives you credibility. I got this property and we're going to do this, and I have this other property and we're doing that, or I've done this in the past. Now, I'll give you a third way. If you set up with me, like when we set up the funds with you, which we can do later after the class, of course, and all this, you can use me and my experience and the years of performance, and they can actually, you can say, I work with this other fund, because we can set up your fund with a paragraph that says that your fund can invest in other similar funds that are fund of funds, such as MCSF and SFI fund. So they could see who you're partnering with. So my history of performance and success could be yours in an instant. And I've actually done with some investors that set up with us where I went on a Zoom call and helped them raise the money, saying, yes, we're going to do this, because they were raising the money and doing the project with one of my funds. So 3 ways to add credibility to you.
Awesome. All right. Next question from Lorenzo. He said, are there any tax benefits to setting up a fund?
Tax benefits are really in the real estate itself. So when you set up, when you get an asset, like Larry had mentioned, the first gentleman had mentioned the property that you have depreciation. So the benefits mostly come with the real estate and the type of real estate you'll do and the transactions. If I sell a property and carry the financing, I have unrealized gains. I don't pay taxes right away. If I sell a property, I can do 1031 exchange because it's the name of the fund, etc., etc. For me, I'm going to tell you about the taxes. I get very excited about it. I set up my business. I am set up in Puerto Rico. So if you personally move to Puerto Rico and take residence in Puerto Rico, the U.S. territory of Puerto Rico, and the Congress allowed tax incentive for residents of Puerto Rico to move U.S. citizens from the mainland to U.S. citizens of Puerto Rico. You understand? You become a resident of Puerto Rico, still U.S. citizen. So what ends up happening is you can do the transactions and then move your profits to Puerto Rico, which become your headquarters. You can reduce your taxes to less than 15%. In California, I was paying 50%. Many, many years ago, like it was in the early 2000s, I took residence in Puerto Rico, and the rest is history. But by the way, that's the biggest tax structure for the biggest hedge fund managers from New York. You can Google, I'll go on YouTube and put Puerto Rico tax haven. It's a US territory. The biggest hedge fund managers take residence in Puerto Rico to reduce their taxes. You can do it too, but that's a next level up when you start making the millions. Some people can't fathom themselves doing the first deal first or set up the fund. Let me just take you step by step and I'll show you how to transform your life. Those people who make millions and become billionaires are no different than you. Okay, they just know a few things. Like, why do I raise capital? Why do I have $100 million of assets in my name, my own assets? And then why do I have also another 100 million plus in the fund? What am I, like a lot smarter than? No, I just learned from a billionaire a few things, went out there, did them, and then started teaching. Then the student said, I want to invest with you. So I set up the right structure. And then I realized as you learn and grow, if you're always willing to learn and open, the world is so big out there. And all you need is, what game do I want to play? How big do I want to play it? Actually, there are 6 questions you need to ask yourself. Where do I want to invest? Okay, where, when? So location and timing, very important, right? And then next thing is, what do I want to do exactly? What type of assets and how? How do I want to do them? what's the structure? And then who do I do the deals with and why? And all this is resolved when you set up a fund, because then it answers even two more questions, which is how much and for how long. So anyway, I got too excited about formulas, but that's how I work. I work off of formulas. So when it's pressure time, decision time, boom, the formula comes up and I can do it and I get the results.
Very good. Next question. How long does it take to get SEC approval?
You can be up and running with me less than 30 days. Actually, we've done it for some people in 3 weeks. There are certain things we'll need you to do when you want to set up the fund. You fill out certain documents. We get on a conference call with Bruce, my attorney, and the attorney is actually sitting in California in Berkeley. These attorneys do nationwide because SEC attorneys are licensed federally. And then we'll answer some questions. Then we'll do one-on-one on Zoom, you and me, to work the details of how you're going to structure it. Boom, you're done. You come and meet me one-on-one, either in Puerto Rico or in California or in Cancun, wherever I'm going to be. And then with that full day, we're done. We finalize the PPN. We send it. It gets filed. You're ready to raise the capital. Can you do it in 3 weeks? We'll get it done. We've done it in 3 weeks or less. But usually it will be 30 days. Other attorneys out there, they're usually so backed up and all this, they'll charge you the 30,000, 35, whatever they charge. And then it will take, usually if you call an attorney, they'll tell you 5 to 8 weeks. It depends. Because usually they have a lot of questions, then they just prioritize and then keep asking you questions because they charge hourly after the certain flat fee. That's reality.
All right. Next question's coming from Eduardo. I believe he's also going to be coming to the training. So welcome, Eduardo. He said, you mentioned wholesaling and rehabbing for sale, but those are active income activities. How do you combine those with passive portfolio to avoid being tagged as a dealer on total portfolio, hence negating the 1031 depreciation terms, sales options, what is available or that are only available to passive rentals?
Okay, because that activity, when you're flipping and you're assigning and all this, you could have an actual expense line. Now, I'm no tax attorney here or tax advisor. I'm just telling you the simple rules of the SEC. So when we do quick assignments and all this, we have a line expense that's a management fee. And the management fee goes to the other entity. So it goes to an entity that's holding assets. So you have actually an expense coming out, because if you're going to put the property under contract and assign it, and now you have, let's say, $25,000 profit on the assignment fee, you can literally put $15,000 for the actual entity, like the fund can pay another entity outside, which will put it for you in the disclosure of the paperwork of the fund that says that you can actually have what's called, with disclosing conflict of interest, that you have management companies outside and you're going to be paying the management company, but it will not affect the payout to the investors. So you're able to take an expense that's going to be taxed at the ordinary gain and pay the management fee that actually could be expensed with other expenses, that income comes in into another asset that actually manages the apartment buildings, manages maybe the development you're doing here, etc. So you can reduce the taxes. For me, I'm set up in Puerto Rico. I have a team in Puerto Rico. I have in-house attorneys. I have all this. I have 2 accountants. I have a property manager, because I'm the largest owner of historic properties in Old San Juan, Puerto Rico. You can Google me, you will see me. You can go to CREPR.com, CREPR.com, commercialrealestatepuertorico.com. You will see I have over 100 million. This is my own name. This is my stuff that I've had since 2004. And I have the biggest tenants in the world there. I have upstairs, I'm the largest operator of Airbnb next to the cruise ships in Puerto Rico. So I have the headquarters there. So if I flip something quickly, I pay a management fee to my other entity, and that reduces my taxes tremendously. So you can do the same and even better. Mm-hmm.
All right, we have a couple more questions. Here we are. All right, Josh is asking, let's see. He said, is a real estate fund a recommended method to take small existing reinvestments, sell, pool capital, and repurchase with more power? And the follow-up to his question is there a minimum threshold for self-capitalizing your own fund? Would less than 500,000 or 1 million be okay?
Okay, I don't know if it's a trick question. You can self-capitalize with $50,000, with $10,000. You just got to put some skin in the game. I always recommend that, but it's not required. So you can set up the fund. I mean, with us, I tell you, it costs $25,000 to set up the fund, and I put it all in there. I beat any attorney doing it, and we do the training, and we tell you the structure, and we guide you through the presentations, and you have an opportunity to invest in the fund as you raise capital. I mean, nobody will do that, okay? But to answer your question, if you have over 100,000 that you're gonna self-fund, as in put in the fund to buy, sell, or do your deals, that's extremely powerful. And it adds credibility when you go raise money from other people. You can say, this is my fund, and it's I'm doing so much in it, and you can come and join me. The pitch becomes completely different. The presentation and the conversation is totally credible because you are actually putting your own skin in the game. And that's how I've done it. But again, I had the right platform as well. I knew what to say. I know I'm trained to present ideas. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I have a very clear mind. I know exactly how to present ideas. And when I explain to people, you want to invest in real estate, you see the great deals, but you can't buy the McDonald's property, you can't buy the Starbucks. Well, let me pool your money together and we can go into this deal. I'm putting so much, will you come in? I know what I'm doing because this. And it was a no-brainer. What do I sign? Here is the paperwork that's required by the SEC. Let's fill it out. Now you put it. Now we have the bank account. And now this is the asset. Then we do the payout twice a year and we send a letter. We're holding these assets. And we just sold these assets. And that's your payout. And we pay, I told you, the debt fund is my favorite. People love the steady income coming to them. We do it twice a year. And I attract a lot of conservative people. And there are some that say, oh no, I want a payout of 15%. Okay, well, you can go to somebody else doing developments. I have this person who does development and we set him up with a fund. Let me recommend him for you. They go to that person. Maybe they don't get any cash flow for maybe 18 months until they sell the property. Then they get their 15 or 12, or maybe they don't get it because now when you go in an equity fund, those who invest in equity funds can suffer a downside as well. But with us, in the debt fund, it's like a promissory note. The steady income is what they're after. So you can attract a lot of safe, reasonable, steady investors that can come with you.
All right. To kind of follow up on his question, he just wanted to reconfirm, is a real estate fund recommended to accelerate existing smaller assets into something larger, like selling smaller properties to pool investments for a fund to leverage for better diversity and income?
Absolutely, 100%. Because the idea of the fund is having multiple assets and diversity. I mean, I remember in one of the programs I did, I bought these properties in Ohio. So I had a contractor that I knew there. And what we did is we just teamed up. He got the properties. I paid, he rehabbed them. His wife was a management company, we rented them. And then I had all these turnkey properties. And I presented to investors and I said, look, I got these properties. And if you're accredited, that means if your net worth is $1 million plus, you can actually come into the fund and we're managing it and you get 8% no hassles. And people loved it. And a couple of people came in and said, you know what, I prefer to just find properties like this. Okay, we'll sell a couple of properties from the fund to you. We're holding them anyway. We'll sell them to you at a profit. And some people like to buy the individual properties and some people like to invest in the fund. So we're able to grow both ways and give investors what they want. So there are many levels to this, but you're on the absolute right track. Yes, you're correct.
All right. Then I have somebody asking, is now a good time to diversify within a real estate fund or a portfolio in general?
I'm sorry, repeat the question.
Is now a good time to diversify, whether that be in a real estate fund or your own personal portfolio?
Absolutely, positively. Diversification is what helps you when things get tough. And you should be set up for tough times, not for good times. For example, I'll speak about my fund. My funds, both funds, MCSIF and SFI fund, and they're set up they're identical funds, but one is Reg D 506B, one Reg D 506C. These are two different regulations, and I'll explain them in details in the class because that takes like a 15-minute explanation. And you will see the differences in terms of how much money you can raise, if you can publicly solicit, etc. But suffice it to say that both are sister funds, so they do joint ventures with each other. And the key thing is we're diversified by location. So we do California, mainly San Francisco, Florida, west of Florida, and we do Puerto Rico, mainly Old San Juan. So by location. Number two, by type of asset. California, San Francisco, luxury residential, which always has high demand. There is always people buying millions of dollars properties there. Florida, where we do development from the ground up, cookie cutter homes, they sell around $500,000. And mixed use commercial in Puerto Rico. Mixed use commercial, retail downstairs with long-term leases making cash flow, and upstairs residential, office, or medical that actually also provides very good cash flow. So location, type of asset. Number three, style of investing. In California, we buy the properties, we rehab them fully, we add square footage. I mean, it costs me $300-400 per square foot to add the square footage. It sells at $1,500 square foot. We add a couple thousand square feet, we make $2 million. It's a no-brainer, cookie cutter. But I have the team, I've been doing it for 15, 16 years now. It's a cookie cutter in Pacific Heights, one of the top markets in the world. We own properties in Billionaires Row. You can look up a couple properties, 2725 Broadway Street, San Francisco, 2760 Vallejo Street, San Francisco. These, we purchased the property one at 9 million and the second one 10.5 million. We'll put 6-7 million in each, sell at 25 to 30 million. Manchester United bought one. The John Paul Getty Trust has 3 properties on that street. Nancy Pelosi lives the next block over where her husband got beat up. Sorry to hear. But anyway, the point is the type of asset and the style is buy, fix, and sell. In Florida, we just buy the lot. We do them 10 at a time, and we just get the entitlement and then build. It's a cookie cutter. We actually eventually do a program for people to learn how to do developments, but that's just like maybe we're a year and a half down the road. Those who train with us, we always update them, and I work very well with Anish. We've known each other for such a long time, have such respect for each other. And then the third style is buy, reposition, and hold in Puerto Rico. Some of the portfolio there is just for the fund. So diversify by location, type of asset, style of investing, all this is extremely powerful. Guess what? San Francisco slowed down right now. It's slower. I can tell you, I can disclose that fully. You have full disclosure in these funds. You have to disclose everything. It's not buyers beware. But Florida's on fire. I'm doing so well with these developments. And Puerto Rico is amazing. I mean, heck, I get people, I have a waiting list for my commercial spaces and I can't buy any more properties. Nothing is available. So yes, diversify. And Warren Buffett says, I like his principles and they can apply in the real estate world very well. He says, diversifying is for people who don't know what they're doing. Well, guess what? He's also diversified. Not all his money is in Coca-Cola. Heck, he just bought Apple a few years ago, right? Why? And he said, I need diversification. I need to get into something that has good cash flow and we see it has its own market, etc. So it's not just one stock that he has. So yes, obviously diversify. Okay, I got off on a tangent here.
All right. Last question that I see here, unless anybody has anything more, now's the time to send it in. Sean is asking, at the one-day class, will we be working with you on practicing to pitch a potential fund or opportunity?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I prepared a power slide, actually 2. One for when you are one-on-one with somebody and one when you're in an investment club, how to say it. So when you come up to the front of the room and they say, here, you have your 30 seconds, you have exactly what to say. And there are variations of it, but yes, absolutely. That's one of the most important things you need to know.
All right. Anybody else have questions?
Ashley, I actually got one of the things that I wanted to talk about. And thanks for, I got to hop back on to listen to the webinar. So one of the things that I thought was powerful, obviously, I set up a fund with Sharif and his team. It's been a couple of years. It was, I don't remember if Sharif, what you said to me. You said, listen, I know you're in real estate investing. If I found you a great deal, or you found a great deal for $5 million, and let's just say you like multifamily, how fast can you raise $5 million? And then he says, I know you know people that have money and the club. And I said, well, I'm not looking for 100 investors on a syndication at 50,000. I'm trying to make my life easier. And so that was the big aha moment for me to set up the fund. And now, I hopped in a little bit late, but as the fund manager, and Sharif has so much experience, he is the guy that makes the decision. He could move at any speed he wants, right? Like he's got the money, he could literally just wire the money and close on the deal, versus other investors may not if they have to raise the money. And then we're assuming he passes all the due diligence. And I know that's some of the reasons you get those deals in California or other markets, because you already have it sitting there, and then it's up to you and your underwriting team to see if it's a good deal.
Absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Yep. And then the second part I liked is also on, some of the syndications, you're looking at 3 to 5 years for your money being tied up. And some of the people that are investing with us, hey, I made a bunch of money. I don't know what to do with it. I don't really want to put it in the bank. And with the fund, it's a minimum 12-month commitment with a 12-month notice, right? So if you say, hey, listen, I'm just going to park it for a year, we're okay with it as long as you give us a 12-month notice. And, again, being totally transparent, that's what I started. And it's been rolling over for over 2 years. It's the easiest money I've ever made, meaning I look at my stock portfolio and I want to throw up. So for all you guys that are doing well in your portfolio, good for you. You could tell I'm not too bitter, but that's what I'm saying is that's one of the challenges out there as you're doing it. And it's a great way if you're doing deals already as the deal maker. Now you're just doing bigger deals. And then the last thing I wanted to add was you always made the comment, he's like, hey, Nish, you're doing really good at what you're doing, but every month you have to hunt, kill, and eat. Once you get to the 5 million or more number, the deals come to you and you're going to realize a lot of them is garbage, but you won't be chasing. Your job will be sifting through these deals that are not deals. So you're not going out there every day to look for a deal. And you could do only 1 or 2 deals a year and that could change your life. So that was some of the things that those were aha moments for me personally that said, pretty smart guy.
Thank you. And the idea, thank you, Anish, I really appreciate that. And the idea of setting up the fund is, does this make sense for the investors? I want to present it to the investors in a way that they speak to themselves and say, geez, this makes a lot more sense than this other fund that they're going to charge me this and this and this, and I'm stuck for 5 years. And I set up funds that help you raise the capital because I set up a debt fund. You're going to receive this and that. You don't have to pay management fee, acquisition fee, disposition fee. You don't have to pay this, you don't have to pay that. And if you want out, it's a 12 months notice. And how can you cash them out in 12 months? Because you're a debt fund. You're able to go get a credit line from the bank and say, I already have this debt. I need to substitute that with you. And boom, the banks work with you. And you will see the banks are completely transformed when somebody is a real estate fund. There is a halt on many loans right now. They're not able to get loans. I'm able to get loans. Why? Oh, you need an extra 10% down? So now you need to go to 30%? No problem, we'll put the 10%. You see, all I got to do is talk to a couple more investors. I have investors that are in. And that's how you will make your life easier. Believe me, you don't need a lot of money to have an easier life. What you need to do is raise enough capital, get a couple good assets, pay off your own personal debt, clear up your mind, and see how to create a bigger pie, and that grows by itself. It's just people who get paid from you, from your effort and time, are going to want to reinvest with you. I've been in it 14 years. I have 64, 65 investors. They don't leave. I had a couple that cashed out. Guess what? They came back in. Some come back with more money from your fund, and some will come back with less money, but they don't want to leave this beautiful cash flow with no hassles and no liability for them.
Yeah,
Very
absolutely.
Good. So thank you all, and I look forward to seeing you. We're going to be 25 people maybe in the room. I mean, this is limited. I want you to have the time, ask the question, get to know you, etc. So 25 or so.
Yeah, and we're not going to, just the reality, because Sharif travels a ton, and he's actually, I pulled a personal favor for him to show up in person, to speak at our monthly meeting, and to come back, back from California to do this special Saturday event. So as I'm telling you, first of all, these prices are not normal at all, is an understatement. And to have a small group of people, of like-minded individuals, I'll be there all day also. So I'm excited to even see what the next level stuff is. And even if you don't want to, set up a fund, right? I think it's beneficial because you're going to learn the difference between syndication and a fund. I always thought I wanted to be in syndication, and I realized why I wanted to be in fund. And what he was also speaking about, if you're investing in other funds, right? Hopefully you'll invest in our funds, but if you're investing in other funds, you want to know what questions to ask, or how does that really work, versus just saying, okay, I think I'm going to do this and I hope for the best. So just on your own educational, for the small price, it could probably save you thousands and hundreds of thousands on investing on a bad fund or something that doesn't make any sense because you didn't know.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much. All right, looking forward to seeing you soon, guys. Thank
I'd
you.
like to put up a quick poll while I announce who won the free membership today. So if you guys could answer the poll, are you interested in attending the full day workshop with Sharif Medawar on April 29th? Yes, no, maybe. I already signed up. All right, there they go. I have an announcement on who won the free membership. Little drum roll. Who's going to get member pricing for this workshop on April 29th? Congratulations, Christina L. Congrats. I will be getting
Awesome.
back with you on getting you member pricing for this event, and you will also have a membership for a full year. So congratulations, Christina.
Yeah. And so the pricing, it's $795 for non-members, $695 for members. If you want to bring a partner, right, it's $395. Is that what we're doing?
That's correct.
Man, look, Sharif, I really twisted your arm, man. I must be good.
I couldn't believe it again this morning. I'm looking at that.
He's like, where's the, did you drop a zero?
He's like, the pricing is the lowest. Yeah.
So thank you guys for joining us today. We want to see you in person. I think it's also, again, it's really important because a lot of you guys as members have been saying, I wish we'd have more in-person events. What I could tell you is people don't show up for the in-person events, I'm going to have less. I'm just going to tell you how it is. So put your money where your mouth is and show up and learn. And we don't have this kind of high level expert come to the RIA, or most RIAs don't in general. So this is a great time to actually, if you want to take your business to the next level, you got to at least show up for Saturday too. So,
I don't know if I mentioned the phone number is 844-720-1031. 844-720-1031. You'll be talking to Ashley directly. She's been my VP since 2003. So, so you're talking to us directly. There's no third party. Oh, they don't know what. So we're ready for you guys.
Absolutely. I will send each and every one of you a thank you email with Ashley's contact information and the details for Saturday, April 29th. So please look out for my thank you email once the webinar ends. You will all get an email from me, alexa@bpmreia.com. If for any reason you don't get the email, please call our office so I can make sure that you have all the information you need for Saturday. Thank you, Sharif and Ashley.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
thank you guys.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Happy Saturday.